Good morning, children. We are once again back in the same chapter, that is alcohols, phenols, and ether. Now, in the last class, we have discussed about the nomenclature of alcohols and phenols. In this class, we are going to discuss the nomenclature of ether. So, in this class, we are going to discuss the nomenclature of ether. See, ether is known by its general formula ROR dash. Ether is known by the general formula ROR dash, where R and R dash are the alkyl groups. Okay, they are called the alkyl groups. So ethers are classified as two types of ether. One is the symmetrical ether, other is the unsymmetrical ether. In a symmetrical ether, what we know, if R equal to R dash, then that is called a symmetrical ether. For example, CH3O, CH3. In this ether, what we see, both the alkyl groups contain one carbon. So this is example of a symmetrical ether. But if R is not equal to R dash, suppose we have CH3O, C2H5, or suppose we have C2H5O, C4H9, right? These are all examples of asymmetrical ether. Why it is asymmetrical ether or unsymmetrical ether? Because both the alkyl groups are not of the same type. This is how we can classify ether. Now about the nomenclature of ether. Now we are going to discuss the nomenclature of ether. In the nomenclature of ether, now what we know, the rule of naming a ether is alk, oxy, alkane. The rule is alk, oxy, alkane. Now what is alkane? Alkane is the largest part. The largest part is called the alkane, and the smaller part is called the smallest part is the alkoxy group, and the largest part is the alkane group. Now suppose I have a ether like this, CH3OCH3. Then according to the rule, what should be the name of this ether? According to the rule, the name of the ether is methoxymethane. Name of the ether is methoxymethane. Why is it called methoxymethane? Because here we see that this portion is actually one carbon, so it is called methoxy. So here it is a symmetrical ether. Why symmetrical ether? Because on both sides of the carbon, number of carbon atom is same. So this is example of a symmetrical ether, right? So the name of the compound is methoxymethane, right? Why? Because here also one carbon, here also one carbon, and that becomes the methane portion. Okay. On the other hand, if I have an ether like this, C2H5O, C2H5. So what is the IUPAC name of this ether? It is called ethoxyethane. It is called ethoxyethane. In this portion, what we see, this portion becomes the ethoxy portion, this portion becomes the ethane portion. So it is ethoxyethane. One is methoxymethane, other is ethoxyethane. In this way we name this compound. Okay, methoxymethane and ethoxyethane. Understood? Now the common name of this ether is dimethyl ether. This is called diethyl ether. So if I write the common name here is dimethyl ether. Here it is called as diethyl ether. This is how the common name of these two ethers are. So that was all about symmetrical ether, right, where both the alkyl groups are similar on both the sides. Now suppose we have the next set of ether, that is in case of unsymmetrical ether. In case of unsymmetrical ether, okay, suppose I have this ether CH3O, CH2, CH2, CH3. So what is the IUPAC name of this ether? The IUPAC name of this ether, according to the rule, it is alkoxyalkane. I have told you that this larger portion becomes the alkane, right, and the smaller portion becomes the alkoxy. So in this case, how many carbon are there? One. As one carbon is there, the name of the compound is methoxypropane. Name of this compound is methoxypropane. Why is it called methoxypropane? It is called methoxypropane because as we could see, number of carbon over there is only one carbon, so it is methoxy. How many are there? 3. So it is called as methoxypropane. In this way we name this compound. Now suppose we have an ether like this. We have CH3, we have CH3O, C6H5. We have this ether CH3O, C6H5. So in this case, the larger portion is a benzene ring. So the name of the ether is methoxybenzene. Name of the ether is methoxybenzene. Why this name is called as methoxybenzene? Just try to understand. We have a single carbon, so it becomes methoxy. We have a benzene ring, so the parent larger ring is the benzene ring, so it is methoxybenzene, right? Suppose we have an ether like this C2H5O, C6H5. Then what is the name of this ether? Here 2 carbons, so it is ethoxybenzene. It is ethoxybenzene. In this way we name this compound, right? Now suppose I have an ether like this CH3, CH3O, CH2, CH2, we have a Cl attached to it. We have this ether like the CH3O, CH2, CH2, Cl. And then how should I name this ether? See, had the chlorine been not there, the name of the compound would have been, if the chlorine was not there, name of the compound would have been methoxyethane. But chlorine is present in the second position of the ethyl group. It is present in the second position of the ethyl group. So here I can number it as carbon 1, carbon 2. So in the second position we have this chlorine. So what is the name of the compound? 2-chloroethoxy. So methoxy 2-chloroethane. So name of the compound is methoxy 2-chloroethane. So the name of the compound comes as methoxy. Why methoxy? Because this portion is the methoxy portion, and here in this portion what we see, the second position of a Cl, so it is 2-chloro for the second position, and this part is 2 carbon compound, so it is known as 1-methoxy 2-chloroethane. In this way we just name this type of ethers. Okay, after that, children, we are going to discuss about the electronic structure of alcohols, ethers and phenols. Electronic structure of alcohols, ethers and phenols. So we are going to discuss the electronic structure of alcohols. as we know that alcohol is represented by the general formula ROH, where R is the alkyl group present. So here in this case, if I have a ether like this, we have C, single bond hydrogen, single bond hydrogen, single bond hydrogen. Here we have a OH group attached like this. See, this portion, this whole portion is actually the alkyl portion, and this is the OH portion. So alkyl portion has a hybridization of sp3. So I can say the hybridization here is sp3, and this is the structure of water where also the hybridization is sp3. Now in this case, the bond angle has been found to be 108 degree and 9 minutes. The bond angle has been found to be 108 degree and 90 minutes, and all these bonds are sigma bonds. So just remember, all of the alkyl group has a hybridization of sp3, right? Alkyl groups has a hybridization of sp3, okay? And what is happening? The OH over here has also a hybridization of sp3. So OH also contains a hybridization of sp3. Okay, in this way the whole structure of alcohol looks like this. So always remember, suppose I have alcohol C2H5OH. In this case, what we know that this C2H5 also has a hybridization of sp3. This OH portion also has a hybridization of sp3, because it is just like the hybridization of water, where one of the hydrogen of water is being replaced by that of an alkyl group. In this way, the whole structure of alcohol looks like this. Okay. Now just remember that the tetrahedral bond angle is 109 degree, but here in this case the bond angle is 108. So I can say it is less than the tetrahedral bond angle. Okay, it is less than the tetrahedral bond angle. Now what is the tetrahedral bond angle? The tetrahedral bond angle is actually 109 degree and 28 minutes, but here we see that the bond angle comes to 108 degree and 91 minutes. Okay, so in this way I can say that it is a bit less than the normal tetrahedral bond angle. It is because the repulsion between the lone pair of electrons present in oxygen. See here, oxygen has lone pair of electrons. This lone pair of electrons is actually causing a type of repulsion. Because of repulsion, what is happening? Bond angle is decreasing. It is actually a bit less than the tetrahedral bond angle. The tetrahedral bond angle is 109 degree and 28 minutes, but it comes to 108 degree and 91 minutes. It is because of the lone pair of electron. This lone pair of electron actually causes a decrease in the bond angle. Okay. After the children, we are going to discuss the electronic structure of phenols. See, in case of phenol, we know that there is a benzene ring. In that benzene ring, it is actually resonance stabilized. The hybridization in a benzene ring is such that there is alternate double bond and single bond. As you know that in a benzene ring, what we see, this alternate double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, then double bond. Then we have a OH group. Now when this OH group is attached to it, this OH group actually renders it certain type of double bond character. Because of double bond character, it is actually resonance stabilized. See here, because of this double bond, it is becoming actually resonance stabilized. Because of resonance stabilized, what is happening? That the OH in phenol, like the OH in alcohol, is formed by the overlap of a sp3 orbital of a oxygen with the 1s orbital of hydrogen, while the CO bond is formed by the overlap of sp3 orbital oxygen. As the result, what is happening? It acquires certain double bond character, and this double bond character causes a resonance, as a result of which carbon oxygen bond acquires some double bond character and the sp2 hybridized state. So just remember, in a benzene ring we have sp2 hybridized, and also there is certain double bond character. This double bond character causes what? It actually causes a total development of certain type of double bonding, because double bonding, what is happening, it is making it much more resonance stabilized. Okay. After that, children, we are going to discuss the structure of ether. In case of ether, we know that there are two alkyl groups. In case of ether, we have seen that ether contains two alkyl groups. These alkyl groups is actually sandwiched between two oxygen. So we have this alkyl group R. In case of ether, we have alkyl group R, which is actually placed on both sides of oxygen. It is just like the structure of water, where both the hydrogen is being replaced by R and R dash. If R and R dash is same, we call it as symmetrical. If R and R dash is not same, they are called unsymmetrical or asymmetrical ether. In this way, we have classified ethers. Now, what we see in case of ether, like water have a tetrahedral geometry. See, water has a tetrahedral geometry, but because of lone pair, its shape actually becomes V-shaped, right? That is, oxygen is sp3 hybridized, and two of the four sp3 orbitals of oxygen atom overlap with the sp3 orbitals of the two alkyl group to form sp3 sigma bond. It forms two sp3 sigma bond. So what is happening? See here, each of the oxygen shows sp3 hybridization. Each of the alkyl groups also have sp3 hybridization. But in case of oxygen, what we see, there are lone pair of electrons. This lone pair of electrons are there. Because of the presence of this lone pair of electrons, they actually cause a total distortion, right? Because of distortion, what is actually happening? The bond angle actually becomes more, right? Because of this, the bond angle in methoxymethane. In case of methoxymethane, CCH3, OCH3. See, the hydrogen of water is being replaced by methyl group. Now, as a result, methyl group is exerting this type of distortion. So, the normal bond angle, which should have been 109 degree and 28 minutes, that bond angle comes to 111. So I can say that the bond angle comes over here as 111 degree, right? As this 111 degree is because of the increase of the bond length. See, there is these two alkyl groups instead of hydrogen of water. So the normal bond angle would have been 109 degree and 28 minutes. Now this bond angle changes to 111. As the result, what happens? There is an increase in the bond length. Because of increase in bond length, the size actually increases. Because of increase in bond length, the size actually increases. In this way, I can say that becomes the size of that becomes the structure of this type of ethers. So we have discussed till now three of the structures, that is the structure of a alcohol, structure of a phenol, and structure of a ether. In the structure of a alcohol, what we have discussed? We have discussed that how one of the alkyl group is getting replaced by hydrogen. In phenol, we have seen that one of the hydrogen getting replaced by a benzene ring. And in case of ethers, we have seen that it is getting replaced by two of the alkyl groups, and each of the alkyl groups, they are actually having sp3 hybridization. Instead of the decrease in bond angle, in this case the bond angle increases. In this case the bond angle increases. Okay? Is this part now clear to you? Okay, children? that was all for the day. In the next class, we would be discussing the chemical reactions of alcohol, phenols and ether. We'll be discussing the chemical reactions of alcohols, phenols and ether.